I'm sorry. I messed up. I take full responsibility for ripping off everybody out there with my supplements and looking straight at the camera for the past year or so and lying to everybody over and over and over again. And even though it was obvious, I would still look at people, professionals, straight in the eye and said, I, the Liver King, never touched anything. What's Winstraw? I never even heard of that. I don't even know if that is. Okay. This is in response to his apology, which took a few days, right? Okay. And I'm already seeing comments on his apology. We forgive you, Liver King. Everybody messes up, blah, blah, blah. And yeah, everybody does mess up in life. And people do lie, people do cheat, people do steal. But man, it took a few days for this apology. And I've known a few people like him, really narcissistic and just in their own little world and in love with themselves, and everything is about them, right? So no one really knew him a couple years ago, right? He was just a Brian Johnson. He came up with this whole persona, messaged some coaches. And the weird thing is he didn't reach out to any legit coaches like a Hani Rambod, a George Farah, Chad Nichols, someone that would probably keep everything confidential, right? He reached out to YouTube coaches. That shows his inexperience. You don't reach out to a YouTube coach if you want something kept confidential like that. You know how many clients, I have kept their crazy stuff or whatever whoever they were, whatever agreement they made, confidential. You know how many clients that have hired me that will say like, hey, I have this to uphold, or I coach a lot of people. I'm on the Olympia stage, mostly men's physique. I want to tell everybody I did my own prep. What's your price? And I'll give them a price. I could care less. They can tell themselves they coach people. That's on them. They're paying me for a service. I don't need that title anymore. Oh, best coach ever. I've been prepping people for 20 years. A lot of coaches out there, the top prepping Olympians now, they want to be known as the best prep coach out there. I'm the best. I'm the best prep coach. I can dial you in the best. I'm way past that in my career. I know my skill set. I know what I can do with people, and working with the pros, the top pros, is probably the worst people to prep. It's very stressful, and not because they're at the top. It's very stressful because they don't listen. They coach hop every year now. They don't really listen, do their cardio. They have their own training methods. It just doesn't work out very well anymore. So I much rather prep, beginners or people just trying to stay in shape. And you make the same amount of money or even more doing that. So, he could have probably reached out to Hani, would have turned him down. George would have probably taken him on Farah, and he could have paid, he would have paid George probably, something crazy. And George would have done his program and kept it confidential. I mean, I even know who coached The Rock before. They're a good friend of mine. And, I know what The Rock was, using, but I don't talk about it at all because that was my friend. And I don't ever say his name to people. I mean, my little circle knows, but that's about it. So someone like this, he was just reaching out to YouTube coaches, which their main job is pretty much calling out each other. And I'm sure maybe got into a disagreement with the coach or something. I don't know why these were leaked in the first place or put out like that. And I know Derek with More Plates, More Dates has got a lot of backlash too, because he was scamming people with the whole turkesterone thing. So it's kind of like one scammer calling out another scammer. But I mean, The Liver King really, really did this up. Was he sorry? No. This dude is sorry he got caught. Guess just imagine him taking these takes. I'm sorry. He probably did 100 of them before you're like, yeah, guys, pick this one. This one looks good. Let's post this one. Yeah, it's bad. Not only did he just lie to people, I mean, his whole persona and he's a lie. So I don't even know. Great, that's fine. You can forgive somebody, whatever. But something like that, you can't ever trust that person again. Like, let's say your woman cheats on you or something like that. You can never trust that woman again. Trust me, you can never trust that woman again. And I don't know where he goes from here. I don't know. His whole persona was, you know, I don't take anything at all. If you have low testosterone, you're a pussy if you take, testosterone. You can take, do my 9 or 10 ancestral ball sack eating, whatever, and raise your testosterone. I'm just beat red all the time. And that's just, from the sun. I mean, it was everybody knew. I mean, everybody that had sense knew in the industry or, somewhat of experience. Of course, he was taking stuff. And there were still some diehard fans out there. And the thing is, I know a lot of people, bodybuilders are not going to buy his products, obviously. They know it's nonsense. People stopped taking liver like a long time ago. That was popular in the 1970s. When I started competing, they used to sell them, and we stopped taking them because it doesn't work. It might have a little bit of health properties, but it doesn't do anything for you. Then he got, it caught on. Then he started selling the heart and the spleen and all this other stuff. And it's crazy because I don't know one person that buys this stuff. And out of like all the people I've asked, do you know anybody that buys his products? And everybody's like, no, I have no clue. So it must be like some like cult backwood type following or something like that just has like absolutely no clue, and they really believe this guy that and the thing is, he's not a big guy. He's like 5'6", like 185, so he's a tiny guy. And this whole act, I mean, it was all a lie. I mean, he really did eat some of these nasty foods because he did put it in the program when he when he sent it over to this YouTube coach, which that was his first mistake. If he's going to lie, and he should have hired like a real coach. Like if he came to me and said, hey man, I want to keep this confidential and, let's sign a contract or whatever, this is the amount, like we would come to agreement, and I would have charged him a lot of money because I deal with these types of people. I'm not a fan of it, but if someone comes to me and like, hey, it's my job. Hey, whatever you do in your own personal life, that's your business. If you want people to not take stuff. And I understand when people, people don't have to let people know they're taking stuff. That's the thing. Because it is illegal unless you're doing it under doctor's supervision with him prescribing it. But he was doing it all under doctor's care at first. And then when he contacted this coach, it was like a year ago. So he was contacting them because he wanted to take it to the next step, up the compounds, up the dosages, which he was really only taking a lot of growth hormone. He wasn't really taking much gear at that point yet. And so I'm sure he really upped the gear. But like I said, this guy, man, I don't know where he goes from here. He just keeps, eating balls and throwing axes. And what does he say now? Like, is he like going to be all gung-ho about gear use? Yeah, go gear, go Winnie, go testosterone, go, tons of GH a day. Like, where do you go from? And the problem is, these days, people are just so used to people lying nonstop, and that's the problem. That's one of the worst traits someone can have, is being a pathological liar. And when those people used to be in my life, I cut all those people out of my life. Those people are dangerous people to lie about. I mean, When you're a pathological liar, you will lie about anything to get ahead in life, and you will lie about anything. That's the thing about a liar. You can't trust them with anything. And I've dealt with liars before, and it's very frustrating to even have simple conversation with them because they're like constantly making up lies to whatever the prerogative, whether it's to sound cool, like sound, making up stories, making up all this money, whatever it is they're making up. It's scary, and it's so dishonest, and it's so sad that people just don't have morals anymore. The problem was not that he took gear. Obviously I don't have a problem with people taking gear at all. There's a right way to do it and there's a wrong way to do it. He just went about it the whole wrong way. And it wasn't like, no, I don't take stuff. He would look straight in the camera and make it the biggest deal to tell people, no, I don't even take hormone replacement. I'm 40, 45 or 44 years old, and I don't even have to take testosterone replacement. My body's just so special. It just produces all this testosterone from living like a primal. I'm out back on my whatever acre ranch hunting squirrels. And it's like, oh man. So like I said, he's going to have his cult type followers that's still going to follow him and praise him. And, it was entertaining watching some of his stuff, and eventually got really cringeworthy. I couldn't even, put it on the guy's stuff. It was too cringy. And I'm going to tell you something. All the real legit bodybuilders like really dislike this guy because our industry already, there's so much negativity around it. And, he's far from a bodybuilder. In bodybuilding standards, he has a terrible physique. He has no V shape. He has a big, huge, distended waist. He has chicken legs. He has small arms, small shoulders. He has a nice chest, and his midsection's not nice. He just has really big, thick abs that protrude. So he's still going to have a fan base just for entertainment purposes only. And, he's just going to have to roll with. He's a huge joke now, I guess, because first he posted somewhere, I don't know if it was erased or not, hey, everything could be explained. There's a crazy explanation for this. What's so crazy about it? You lied to everybody. I saw that wherever he posted it said something similar like that. I'm like, and why am I talking about this a lot? And why is everybody talking about this so much? Because everybody knows of this guy, and everybody knows of him because if he's a liar. If he came out and, admitted to taking, all this gear and growth hormone, his supplements wouldn't have sold like they did. Trust me, because they just wouldn't have. So as a businessman, whatever businesses he's in, because he had money before this whole Liver King nonsense, he hired a full PR team, a full camera crew to follow him and his family. I feel bad for his wife and kids, having to be filmed or just a camera crew all around all the time while this narcissistic dad is just lying straight to his teeth. And, I feel bad for his wife and kids. They have to see that. And, you're supposed to be raising your kids and teaching them morals, not to lie, not to cheat, not to steal, to be a good person. And that's all they see their dad doing, is being a dishonest person. And in all these other businesses he got to be here, just think of how dishonest he was. And, people are so greedy in this world. I've known so many filthy rich people, and most of them in business are cutthroat and will do anything to get to the top. Throw people under the bus, lie, cheat, steal. Then you got other people that are just happy providing for their family and being comfortable. Like me, I don't want a private jet. I don't need mansions. I don't need all this materialistic things. After this life, there's a whole nother life. Those are my beliefs. This world, you can't take anything with you when you pass away. But people will remember you by your acts and what kind of person you were. And I would not want to be this dude right now. I've known like criminals that I have way more respect for that they did crazy stuff than this guy. He fooled a lot of people out there, and it's crazy because people actually believed him. I don't know how, but I guess I'm like trying to think myself, like maybe when I was like a young, impressionable kid, I would have believed some guy that was, I'd be like, why would you people don't understand lying, people that lie all the time. Maybe I would have believed this guy because he's just so adamant about, saying it all the time. He has to be telling the truth. Anyways, that's all I have to say. This guy, I know he's going to lose a lot of money in sales. I don't know who would buy these supplements anymore in the right mind. If you're supporting a guy that, like, I can't imagine looking at my fans and followers and just lying to them. That's how much respect he had for his fans and followers and people that supported him, to look straight at all of y'all and lie on a regular basis and actually put people that took gear down, call them pussies or whatever, like actually put them down. So the Liver King, man, lost a lot of respect. And I'm not a fan of you. I'm a Texan myself. I'm in Dallas, and we don't claim you.